on, and yeah, didn't work. There we go. What's going on, guys? Tom, what is up? How are you doing this morning? Alright, you guys ready to go over some pre-market analysis? Happy Friday. You feeling better this morning, Tom? Recovering? Alright, so how are the markets doing? U.S. stock futures are pointing to a sharply lower Friday open on Wall Street with weak economic data from China to blame. Man, blaming China. If the selling were to get much worse, by the close, the Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ could swing to declines for the week. For the week, guys. Not looking too good out there today for the market. Tom, did I trade yesterday? No, I sold some of AS&S. That's what I did. I'm going to go over that in just a second here. So today's lesson I'm going to do, I'm going to post at about 10:30 or 11. I filmed yesterday. So that was on how to spot pump and dumps. And I filmed YECO, and I went over all the variables to look for on how to spot pump and dumps. So get excited, because that's going to be sweet. You guys are going to be able to profit off of pump and dumps. I'm excited for that. But Tom, yeah, since you asked, let's get into that trade real quick from yesterday on AS&S. Now, we went over this in pre-market yesterday. And by the way, this is the coolest thing ever. I'm always amazed with TD Ameritrade. So the screen that I'm showing you guys right now, that I'm live streaming, this is on a separate computer than the one I'm trading with. They're not connected in any way. And I'm on the computer I trade with right now, and if I click on a stock, it jumps immediately to it. They're not connected in any way. I guess since I'm signed in, that's how it's working. That's the coolest thing ever. It's the coolest thing ever. So let's look at AS&S. Yeah, I thought I was going to have to connect these computers somehow, but this is exciting. This is very exciting. Alright, so we looked at AS&S yesterday. What did we say? We said, okay, this one is bouncing off the trend. We just want to play it. As long as it's off this trend line, we're good to go. I had 600 shares. I was scooping them up off the trend line. I sold 400 yesterday. You can see right here, up around the 470 area, where it started. Seeing a bunch of upper shadows. That's where I started taking some profit there. Right now, what are we sitting at? So we're coming down right to the trend right now. We're going to be testing that trend line again. We're seeing the stock is sitting at about 374 right now. That's where the bid is. So it's right near the trend. This is definitely an area to, to be looking at it. If you want to long, as far as risk reward goes, this is a great entry. Is it going to get volume today? I don't know. As far as what day the volume's coming into this, I haven't been able to predict very good. But, I've been spot on with AS&S. This is the daily chart on it. So as you can see, we're still looking really, really good. We got this flag going on. Looking very solid. And we're coming right off the trend right now, 474. So we'll see if we get a bounce at the start of the day. Or if this is going to sell off. It is a Friday. There's going to be less volume out there. The market's opening up lower. So there's a few things to be concerned about there. But with that being said, are we seeing a lot of PRs today? Not really. And why is that? It's not a coincidence. It's Friday. The market's opening up lower. Companies are like, okay, it's probably not the smartest idea to come out with a PR. Right now, and in that case, they would be correct, because Fridays there's a lot less, there's a lot fewer volume out there, a lot less volume. People end their days early. You start seeing stocks fade off a lot quicker. But with that said, you guys just keep AS&S still on watch, still watching it. It's right at the trend line. I still have 200 shares on it at an average price of 353. So I've already made good money on it. I'm gonna just cut if it cracks under this trend, and we'll be good to go. So let's look at today. What's going on? What's our leading gappers? We got BL, ALQA. So you can see right here, TIK. Let's start looking at those. But before I get into that real quick, you guys saw the scanner video I posted yesterday. It got 100 and some hits and about 20 likes. So I know a lot of you did see it. I'm very excited for you as far as that goes. Please take advantage of it, because you're the ones that are benefiting from it. I'm not making money off of it. The guy who created it's not making money off of it. It's strictly designed to benefit you, the 30 for 30. So I know some of you are going to sign up for that over the weekend. Please take advantage of it. There's a limited amount of seats because of the fact that it's designed. The 30 data costs more than that, so we're losing money on doing it, but it's designed for you, so please take advantage of that. Let's look at the leading gapper today. TIK is our penny stock gapper. Now what's going on here? This is very interesting. So TIK is a stock that is dear to my heart, very dear to my heart. It was when I was under the PDT rule a year ago from today. I think I had like a $2,000 account, and I got up early, bought TIK at, this might have been 2 years ago. No, I think it was last year. I got up early, I bought TIK 600 shares. This thing pumped up like a couple bucks. I made my biggest trade yet. It was like 800 some dollars on the 3 trades a week. So this one, that was my biggest trade under the PDT with that small account. So this one's dear to me. Well, what happened? I'll show you guys. TIK, this one, this is going to be a trivia question. Whoever gets this right, I'm going to send you and your family on a 3-day, 5-night Eastern Caribbean cruise. I'm going to send you a brochure. A 3-day, 2-night. I'm kidding. But guys, look at the chart on TIK. I'll just pull this up. This is the 3-year chart. What do you notice? What's the first thing you notice when you look at this chart on TIK? Somebody, anybody. The first thing you notice. We got 12 people in here. Somebody. All these upper wicks. Okay? About to say, Tom, I can't read that. Gotta speak my language. Stuffs. Yeah, Tony. So stuff. Gets stuffed every single time. This one moves on up. That's what happened last year when I bought it. Granted, it moved up a couple bucks, but then guess what happened? It came all the way back down. That's what it does every single time. All these upper wicks. So guess what it's going to do today? Probably the same exact thing, right? And if we look at the news, this is something else I want to point out. So their news is they announced $615,000 international order. That was today. Well, guess what happened last week? So last Friday, this stock was gapping up in pre-market as well. Look at this chart here. Last Friday, the same exact day. Today's Friday. Last week was Friday. It was gapping up, had a morning spike, and then sold off. Alright, so what happens in the past usually happens again. But guess what the news was last week? I went back and took a look at what the news was last week. It was, nearly the same type of deal. They report $816,000 test order receipt of the T47 test. Okay. And then today, $615,000 order for the T47. Okay, so we're that's pretty much the same type of news, right? It's the same deal. Last Friday we were gapping up as well in pre-market. Thank you, Albert. What's going on? Yeah, be careful on Fridays. Absolutely. Fridays are tough. So TIK, and congratulations, Albert, on the trading yesterday. He nailed ASNS at the open. So good job there. Looking for another green day here. We're going to end the week strong. So yeah, TIK, we're definitely going to be looking for a morning spike on this. We'll look for a $4 break. It's at 380 right now. So, you know, with what we've gone over today, you know, what would you guys guess? It's got the same type of news. Last week was Friday. You know, they came out with that news. It was gapping up. Today is Friday. It's gapping up. It's coming out with the same type of news. It's a former spiker. It gets pumped. It gets dumped. So probably what's going to happen again today. So just keep an eye on it for the pre-market break. I would be in and out of this one, guys. Please don't hold this for very long. It's a Friday. Volume's going to fade off. A lot of shorts are going to be coming into whatever spiking, especially on a Friday. If they see anything pop up on the high day scanner, they're definitely going to be shorting into all the pops. So keep an eye on TIK as far as that goes. What else is gapping up? ALQA, this one is putting in some work right now, sitting at 305. This one, of course, is also a runner. If we look at its daily chart, it just recently went from like 250 to 524. Personally, I'm going to avoid ALQA, but there's definitely opportunity there right now. And why does it say it's gapping up? Right now, ALQA is gapping up in pre-market because they announced $5.7 million in federal grant funding. The company's announced a merger agreement in October. So federal grant funding. Yeah, I mean personally, I don't like ALQA very much at all. You know, one of the variables I like to look for, and you'll notice that today I'm coming out with the video on pump and dumps and how to trade them, what to look for, how to get in and out of them. That's what one thing I look for when I'm looking for pump and dumps is light pre-market activity, such as TIK. And the example I give, which was yesterday, was on YECO. I completely called that before it happened. It was pretty easy though. If you guys don't know how to spot them, we're going to go over it today, so no need to fear. For Kevin, Avery is here. I want to make sure you guys understand how to trade them, because some people, I know some people, they post, you know, out there in the Twitter and StockTwits land, you know, some guys, they'll post like one big win. Haha, thanks Tony. Sweet. Some people post like one big win. You know, honestly, this might sound crazy to you. So be it. I would rather consistently make $50 a day over the course of a year than to make one random $50,000 trade but have no idea what I'm doing. Does that make any sense at all? Because there's a huge, all caps, huge, in the Donald Trump voice. There is a huge difference between a good trade and good trading. Very big difference between a good trade, a good trade and good trading. And not only that, on the good side, but also like on the bad side, I would much rather have one big loss to learn from than consistently losing over and over and over and over again. Because it's okay to be wrong. We're going to be wrong when trading. It's okay to be wrong, but it's not okay to stay wrong. Does that make sense? So there's a huge difference between a good trade and good trading, and it's okay to be wrong. It's not okay to stay wrong. Romalise, good morning to you. Brad the Baker, what's going on? It's good to see you guys this morning. That's right, Tony. Like, one good trade does not make you a good trader. It really doesn't. and we're in this to be consistent, right? And so, that's what Brian at Intensity Stockwatch always says. Focus on consistency first, profits will follow. You want to focus on $50 a day, that's going to be what, like $12,000 a year, but you focus on intraday. So as far as your trading goes, focus on intraday, the same as you focus on trading. You're focusing on intraday trading, focus on intraday profits, not how many how much I'm going to make in the year necessarily. Cool. Be right back. And so, with that said, intraday trading, what we're looking at on some of these stocks, such as TIK, which we just went over, is trading what? The ticker. We're trading the ticker. We don't care about the company. We trade the ticker, not the company. You guys have probably heard that quote before. So on certain stocks like this that we went over, we recognize that it is going to be a pump and dump, that it does sell off. It is just like you said, Tony, it gets stuffed. It has a bunch of upper shadows, tough resistance. It came out with the same news last week. It's gapping up in pre-market. It's probably going to buy up at the start but then fade off. So with that being said, we focus on how to trade each individual stock. And as you continue to trade and get experience in the market, what's funny is, like in the mornings, and this wasn't the case years ago, but you learn each stock's individual personality. So when you first start trading, you see some of these stocks and you really have no idea anything about them. But when I see TIK pop up, I know instantly the personality of this stock. I know it usually sells off, has tons of upper shadows on the daily. You understand the float of these type of stocks. If we type TIK right here in the quick look, we get a float of 1.73 million. So what does that mean? There's less supply, which means what? There's a higher demand, which means what? It creates large rips. We see large rips in this past. So that's something we got to keep an eye on. There's not a lot happening in pre-market, guys. Volatility is everything. That's right, Tony. Tony is the genie in here. Volatility is everything. Upside and downside. As long as there's volatility, there's opportunity. As long as there's opportunity, there's money. ALQA, this one is getting some volume. Personally, I'm staying away from that. There's going to be some opportunity there. Not for me, though. Man, but this is a typical type of Friday. Most people just trade in the mornings, first few minutes, and then they're out. As long as there's opportunity, you'll catch me in that chair. That's right. How's your trading been going, Tony? You still focusing on your flat tops? Is that your number one go-to? But what are you guys looking at? What are you thinking? We got just a few stocks that we're looking at. Fridays, this is interesting as well. So oftentimes, and this only happens a few times a year, Grant, but Fridays are some of the times where we see the biggest short squeezes because of the reasons I just gave you. Most stocks, they gap up, fade off. And with that being said, sometimes some big buyers step in during the day. We do see squeezes on Friday. So, that's not something you can necessarily, know is going to happen, but no bias. Sean, what's going on this morning? MX. Let's pull up the chart on it. So MX got bought up at the end of the day yesterday. Do we know why? Sean, the chart looks not too bad on it. It's breaking the 13 EMA. Hasn't been above that in several months. Hasn't been above the 13 EMA since the summer. Got room to the 50-day at $8. Does this have any sort of catalyst on it? Definitely had some good volume at the end of the day yesterday. No news. Yeah, so it's one we can definitely keep an eye on for volume. You know, it closed the day yesterday with some good volume, so we'll keep an eye on it. See if we get any good volume on that. But yeah, as you guys know, you know, that is the main variable to look for. You know, we can sit here and make plans all day, but we gotta have volume, and you'll see that in today's lesson. We'll go over. I'm excited for you guys to watch that. How to spot pump and dumps. But yeah, like when the market is the way it is right now, when we don't see a lot of long side opportunities on a day like today. You know, what's going on in chat? You guys got to keep this in mind. You are absolutely 0% responsible for what the market is doing today or any day. 0% responsible for the market dropping, for there being not as much volume, for there being a lack of news. But what you are 100% responsible for is how you react to what is going on. On a day like today, you do not have to trade. You can sit on your hands. You know, I know this firsthand. Trust me. I go 2 weeks without losing a trade, and then Friday lose everything I made. So, not fun. Not very fun at all, and that's because I want to trade more than I want to make money, and that is a bad place to be. Very bad place to be. The addiction to trading. Ugh, it's awful. So many different emotions you got to fight off. So many different emotions. But with that being said, we got a few minutes here, guys. TIK is definitely going to be my main watch out of the gate. Whether this spikes right at the open or, you know, falls off just a little bit, you know, honestly, the best potential for TIK, there's definitely chat room eyes on this. The best potential for TIK is if it fades off a little bit at the start of the day, and then slowly U-shapes, curls around, and then blows past, you know, it's $4 in pre-market highs. I don't have, you know, with TD Ameritrade, I'm not able to see if SSR is turned on. Does anyone in the chat, do you guys have DOS? You can let me know if SSR is turned on TIK. Because that is actually important here. That's funny. But yeah, if TIK, if short sale restrictions turned on, that means, you know, of course, shorts cannot smack the bid. So that's important to know. It does look like this one's going to drop at the start. You know what a good idea on this would be? You guys know I love buying things that support. No SSR on DOS. Okay, so SSR is not turned on. So a smart idea on TIK, and I'm not responsible for anybody's losses. Gotta throw that in there. But I would do this if TD wouldn't be so slow at the open. If this drops to about 350 at the start of the day, I would be very tempted to pick up a starter position, as in like 200 shares. And if it doesn't work out, you cut, very minimal loss. If it starts working out, add to it. That's how, you know, I love starter positions. Oh my gosh, the power of scaling. Rather than single entry, single exit, it allows for so much more flexibility. You know, and I definitely can't take credit for that. Brian, if you're watching, that is all you, baby. That is all you. It's like a simple. Yeah, Albert. You know, half dollars, quarter dollars, whole dollars. These are tough levels of resistance and support. Were you in here when we were going over TIK, Albert? I think you were. TIK, yeah, this one's going to be a pump. Most likely. I mean, like, if you look at his past chart history. Last Friday had the same news, did the same thing. It pumped at the start. This is something else I look at, though. What else is moving? I mean, this is something you guys got to pay attention to, and you'll learn with experience. What else is moving right now in the penny stock world? ALQA. ALQA is the one moving. Personally, I don't think this one is going to get it. And so if that one just fades on off at the start of the day, then what's going to go? I mean, there's really only a TIK. Yeah, I do think it's a good idea, Albert, to be scooping up just a starter position, like 100, 200 shares. Big rooms are all CoinFox. They're all ALQA. I don't, you know, everything that gaps up just gets shorted anyways at the start of the day. So my game plan is TIK, drop a little bit at the start, U-shape around, and then break up through $4. You know, I would definitely scale out around resistance, like pre-market highs at 420. But this is a stock, especially on Friday, you want to get in early. You'll be risking very little as well. So if you get in like a couple hundred shares or something, you know, you're risking like what, like 20, 30, 40 bucks. Not risking very much at all. Keith, what is the difference between yellow and blue bars? I watched the scanner video yesterday, but I forgot. Okay, awesome. So Keith, the yellow and blue bars are float. They tell you the float of each individual stock. So if we type in here, see TIK is yellow, we're going to hit enter. The estimated float is going to be right here, 1.73 million. So very, very low float. If we type in one of the higher floats, or type in one of the blue stocks, so we'll type in DGAZ, something else that's right here. The float 7.55 million. So blue's a little bit higher float, but it's still low. You know, anything under 10 million is definitely low and can be very volatile. But yeah, that's that. So thanks for asking, dude. Any questions you have at all, please ask. You know, about the scanners. This opportunity, please don't pass up on it, because this is strictly designed to benefit you guys. But the market's going to open here in a minute. Absolutely, Keith. Message me, Avery Day Trading at Gmail or Avery Day Trading at Twitter. I'd be happy to help. Anything you need. Market's going to open here in a minute. I got to go, guys. Thank you so much for watching, though. Please stay safe today. Do not overtrade. Do not revenge trade. We will be good to go. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.